So the pigs have been in their current paddock for about 30 days now, give or take. It's time to move them, but I want to record a video showing their effect. So if you look at my last video or any of the ones from last year, you'll see that they had probably 3-foot tall grass and, you know, lots of shrubbery and things like that coming up. And now we'll see what they have, but they've made a dramatic impact, and it'll green up right behind them, but it'll also allow me to drop a lot of stuff that shouldn't be there. Continue to move this towards cattle pasture. What's up, guys? So here's the start of it. Now this area is a little extra beat up because of where I put home base this year. We've had to reuse small spaces, but we're talking, you know, a couple hundred square feet in this whole silvopasture, so it's okay. It'll recover through the winter. Oh, you're extra muddy, aren't you, buddy? Yeah. It's a hot day. It's like 90 degrees today, so pigs gotta stay cool. So this rose bush has been thinned out some. A lot of the young growth, actually all of the young growth that's at pig snout height, has been eaten. And a lot of the dead, so it gets very brittle, the last year's growth, right, or the previous year's that's dead. They shatter it and knock it to the ground. Kind of serves as mulch. I'll come through with a weed whacker and just kill the rest of this thing. And then there'll be one less sticker bush out here. This is the area that they've been using for their bathroom. So I've been throwing down mulch and straw and hay to kind of add some carbon to it. It's worked. It doesn't really smell here. Their feeder has moved throughout this area to over there. It's got to move again, but the next moves into the new paddock, which is over here. So this is where they'll be tomorrow. And as soon as I started making a record of this paddock, the rain started. So I guess we're going to get a little rained on here. But you can see dramatic difference. Look at all the exposed earth. As soon as I get the pigs out of here, it'll green right up. Isn't that right, guys? Isn't that right? Good piggies. So we'll just walk the perimeter here. You can see the pigs, what they don't eat, they root up, right? So they eat the young spice bush growth. That's what you got. That's actually a hawthorn right there. So that's a hawthorn. There's some young hawthorn growth there at the bottom. The bindweed, small clusters of it there, but much of it has been trampled. So I don't know why they chose to walk around those. Maybe the those logs laying on the ground kind of naturally steer them. Old trees like this I leave to rot, and they bust them up eventually. They nibble on the rotten edges, and then, you know, that becomes a mulch of its own. You guys gonna walk with us the whole way? All right, let's go. You can see I've already started laying the fence for their next paddock, so that's going to be all of that. They're going to love it. Some more bushes I need to weed whack out, but by and large, anything they can reach, they've uprooted. Some of this stuff nearest the fence, you can see some Japanese stilt grass there. Some blackberry, that's a blackberry bush right here. It's just too close to the fence, right? So the pigs aren't comfortable getting this close, so they leave it alone. In a crowded area, in an open area, they'll root right up to the fence. Now we're going to get up into their main wallow. Here's some more just kind of grazing, which, you know, awesome. Do it up, piggies. I can see another kind of latrine area that they've used over there, but relatively minor. And then here's where they've been waiting. So this, I don't know, for years I've run the pigs right through here. And this is a little kind of stream. I've never really called it that because it really wasn't that. But it goes into a pipe right there, which goes under what I'm standing on, and comes out down there. Well, I've never seen them bother it like this and turn it to thick mud. I'll have to get in there with a shovel and clear it out. But this is the first batch of pigs, and this is batch, what, like 5 or 6 that have ever bothered with this spot. So I guess you guys are just extra thorough, huh? Want to say hi? Say hi, guys. Yeah, good pigs. Don't get mud on my camera, though. So, continue on. I hear a bullfrog over here. That's cool. But you can see dramatic mud hole creation here. None of this looked like this when they started, although it looks like this every year. As soon as I move the pigs out, that will all turn to this. And it'll sit there for a year until the pigs come back. This tulip poplar that I fenced out, I planted that last year. That's already probably a 10-foot tree. That's going to be a nice, I mean, it seems to love having wet feet, so good tree. I got a nice willow here. I'm very happy to see the willows. Great drinkers, great fodder trees. You see some more willow popping up over there. That's a black walnut in the middle of it, and then some big dead tree that's all vined up with poison ivy there. But I'm happy to see these willows. That's great. Good pig food too. Let's see if I can get them to come splash in the mud for us. It's always exciting. Come on over here, piggies. Come say hi. Oh, I got them running through the woods. Oh, here they come. Here they come. Woo! Slow down. No rush, guys. No rush. Come on over here. You gonna come say hi, pigs? No? Maybe? I hear snorting. I know you got a tunnel through those pricker bushes. No? Alright, I'll come to you then. I'll come to you then. They're all deep in there. That's a nice little shelter. This is their sleeping area. So they like to sleep in this corner. Walnuts are dropping. They usually don't eat the walnuts till they turn black. They won't eat them when they're green like that one there. But once that turns black, it's a snack. But yeah, they like to lay down here and sleep. Isn't that right, guys? You can see, look at the fence line. They root right up to it, but they don't root past it. They kill any of the low brush. I don't know how this little multiflora rose bush made it. Didn't make the cut yet, huh? Didn't make the cut? Yeah, that's right. And then we'll walk down here. I got some huge, I mean, that's got a 1-inch stem on it, that rose bush there. So I got some big old rose bushes to cut out. I certainly don't want them. First of all, they make you bleed. And secondly, they shade things out. You get no grass growing. But that leads down to their wallow, their favorite spot in the world. And if you look at last year's videos, or even before I started this paddock, you'll see this was all green. 30 days, it's a fresh bed. They spread the manure, they expose the native seed bed, and you get all kinds of stuff growing. Let me get through this mulberry. That's a mulberry tree that fell over and didn't want to die, so it just kept growing up. Throw some more walnuts out to the piggies here. I picked some squash from the garden earlier and threw it in here for the pigs. Before I forget, look at these elderberries. That's a 2-year elderberry I planted. Look at all them berries. The trick will be beating the birds to them, but I gotta wait till they turn purple. They're not purple yet. They're very, very green. So once they're purple, we'll make some jam, make some wine. But anyway, back to the squash. Threw a bunch of squash out of the garden that got too big. And you can see they nibble at them, right? But a couple I cut open. And I can see they're all gone. So I guess the trick is to cut it open before I throw it in here. In the meantime, the pigs will continue to munch at it. And hopefully they'll poop squash seeds out all over the place. And I'll just have free squash growing out there for all my piggies. You can see a wallow on the other side of the water. So if you're going to put water out here, I didn't move this one in a month. So that's what I get as a result. Now fortunately that log has retained a lot of the water, create a little frog habitat, but if you don't move your waterers, you're going to get big wallows. And that's it. You guys ready to move? Ready for a new paddock? Smile for me, buddy. Yeah. There you go. So that's all she wrote. Anybody out there keeping pigs in the woods, that's the way to do it. These guys are all happy, healthy, good sized pigs. That guy's getting close to 200 pounds there. He's one of the big boys. But we got some big ones, we got some little ones. Nice blend for the customers this year. All right, piggies, have a great day. Enjoy your squash. So if you got enough space, you know, especially wooded, wasted space, put some pigs in there. They obey electric fence very, very well. They're easy to feed, easy to water, easy to butcher, easy to train. Everything about pigs is really easy as long as your fence is good and high. So put some pigs in there and now you'll have wasted space turned into a profitable yield. So, and if you have any questions about it, I've made probably 100 videos about pigs in the woods. So please go watch them. Have a great day.